if you guys remember, in the notes that we covered, right, in the Shorty's corner, I said there's a, if we lose 39.60, which we did, I said there's a strong chance that we're going to revisit this level where we basically, kind of popped from. This is where the major imbalance happened, right? We popped over this level, it became support, then you went away, and this is your final, second retest of this level.
Oh,
So now you're
keep going back to the left. Wasn't this the SSH?
Yeah, this is
SSH. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a fairly big level, and considering if you guys like zoom in on my font size 4 that I had here, when you have 2022 POC and 2021 POC sitting 3.25 points apart, just naturally that level is going to be gold, right? And we never really, if you guys look at this, the way I looked at it was on 10 minutes today, just because I needed a little bit more confirmation when I saw the chop, what they're doing. I was like, man, if 10 minutes closes below it, there's a high chance we proceed 38.50. And I think it's still doable tomorrow, just because I believe one of the Feds came out today and said, now their tone shifted. Inflation's high, we're going to continue, blah, blah, blah. And now you have, let's see how they absorb the Netflix earnings, even though Netflix popped. I honestly think it's a trap, but let's see how the liquidity plays out. So I think they're going to use any positive earnings like that to kind of push the market up if they can get rid of the shares if they're still, inventories are full. So simply tomorrow is just going to be, if you guys look at the SVP on this for a moment. So it is a deep profile. I mean, if you guys take that, if you take the bell curve, right? I mean, if you just take this right here and you flip it, it's going to be very close to, a perfection here that you're seeing right now. And I don't know if there's a way to flip this, but probably not. But you guys see, this is perfect for new people, right? That's what, volume profiles are about when you look at the value area. This is your value area here, and we are right there at 39.30 is our value area high for tomorrow that we're watching, and the low is right here in this cluster of levels. Like, so if we are able to really break this PD value area low tomorrow, I mean, look at the volumes. If you guys think trading this 39.20 to 39.10 is good, well, good luck to you guys, because I will not be touching that level unless they break above it or below it. But this is just disgusting here right now. There is, PD value area high, PD7, which we'll have to confirm. No longer a VPOC, right? So because we came back to it. And now you're looking at 22 POC, PD val, 21 POC. So we really have to slice through this to go further, right? And then if you guys look at 65 minutes, the volume here on the spike up, was a little bit of increase. I think the effort result on the candle itself is not really agreeing on any of this. And I did see a lot of 3,900 puts and selling of the 3,900 calls. I'm not sure if they closed it before the market. Whoever has the flow, they can check. But I would expect if any news, and I don't know the calendar, we'll take a look, see what's ooh. This guy's on tomorrow. Okay, well, you have Harker and Waller here, so I don't know. This is going to be interesting. He's a 1, this guy's a 9. I still think that, we can find some accumulation because right here, you see how quickly we can jump higher here. If you guys grab the volume here from the fixed perspective, there's really not much volume here being dispensed, right? So they didn't really use a lot of power here. All of the volume is on top where we dumped from. So there's a chance, if they push this to about 416, 417, that would be a good entry for a potential short. But right now, you're playing with a lot of manipulations by market makers right now. So whatever they want to feel like, what they feel like doing, they will execute it. And here's your fibs. If you guys look at it, I'll just kind of magnet this just to make sure that they're right before somebody tells me I'm off by 2 pennies. Okay, so here's your 50%. You kind of dipped below it. And I would say if we dip below this level right here, 3904, ideally you want to kind of dip below 3900. You have the 3882, which is a 61.8. You can expect a bounce there, but I honestly would be interested in this right here. I think this zone here has not gotten a refill, right? So if you guys think about the price action, right? So if you accumulated here for a while, right? You see this boring crap. Then they popped it over this resistance, over this supply right here that I'm pointing at. They went over it, came back, and they made a higher high, which makes this demand zone what? In comparison,
Untested.
it's very untested, but what does it make it compare to the previous supply we had in this area?
It's
They took
stronger.
the supply out.
Yeah, it's taken the supply out. This supply is pretty much taken out right now, unless there's new sellers or something, but this level here is going to be golden for long. 3850, 3856. So, keep it at least 5 points up, 5 points down in this range. But this is going to be a good opportunity for long here. And I will most likely enter some swings on this point here. As we're approaching this, I'll go long. And then, we'll take a look at VIX and the other ones, how they're doing to make sure that we're in accordance to enter the swing. So for tomorrow, it's fairly simple. I don't see much changed, from today. We didn't really make any imbalances today. I would say you're accumulating because you had that huge drop the day prior, right? You had a trend day here. And if you guys count the trend days, if you're ever bored, just go on a month-to-month basis and count how many trend days you had. It'll be like maybe 15% max. So, and you had a couple of holidays in January, so you discount that. So I don't know how many more trend days we're going to have, but let's see. So if you guys look here, you had a trend day here, accumulation, trend day down. So this was your, your buyer's exhaustion. So now you have a trend day down. And when you look at this right here, I'm not spotting any exhaustion just yet. So you had some here, right? You see the volume and the effort. I can't say that, hey, there's a high chance of a bounce because I'm not seeing any confirmations yet, but this is a big level. If we hold this level, by, let's say, by noonish tomorrow, I think there's a high chance they can explode from here to 4,000. So we'll watch that and see what the news, the guy that speaks tomorrow at 9 and 1 o'clock, I think they can.
It's OPEX too, so.
And it's OPEX, yeah. So I don't know what's the expiry amount, but it's going to be significant. On at least on SPX, it's going to be huge. And I don't know when the JPM collar is off, but I think
I think
they
it's quarterly, isn't it?
It is, but I think they sold 40, 30 calls, right? So I think they're going to pin it. I don't think we're going to go and look where we rejected. I mean, I'm pretty surprised on ES, right at 40, 30s. I know on SPX that's a little less, but they sold these calls, so pretty sure we're not going to go above it anytime soon. I think they're hedging for downside, and I think Damon, whatever his name is, he made some comments around, inflation and the recession. All of a sudden, his tone shifted a little bit as well. So let's see. Otherwise, you have a nice bear flag here, so we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see if we slice through it overnight. I'll put some entries below overnight here, see if we break this. This does look like a nice bear, bear flag, or if you want to call it bear pennant. So if we do play this out, then we know where we're headed. You can trim 3882. And now I'm going to start looking at, 3865. And so just kind of looking at calls and swings. Below that, if we decide to go, right, we have some levels to look at. So we'll just bring it up. So there's a big level here. So this is the level that we were talking about. This is the last accumulation. So this level already played out. This level, I do not think that this was played out here. I don't think this level right here at 3,600 has played out, and eventually this will be played out as well. So we'll watch this. That lines up with our value area low 2022. So I'm pretty certain we're going to retest this fairly soon. And if you guys recall on SPY, I think this was the SPY that we were looking for. We're looking for something like this on SPY, but here you go. You got the dip. Well, not really a retest, not the best retest, but they dumped it lower. Trying to bring my other screen on SPY. All right, so for newer folks, right? So we talked about the VPOCs, right? There was a VPOC here. We said this was a VPOC just because the tap, that one got killed. Now we're trending towards this VPOC, and then there's one more below. And I told you guys this was going to happen fairly quick. If you guys recall the notes from maybe 2 watch lists ago, I said you left a handful of epochs. There's going to be an acceleration right here through this point. So if you guys just grab, you can grab this whole thing right here. From here, go to the top, the first high. Here's where you're bouncing probably. Are you guys shocked?
Nope.
This is your run-up value area high. So at first we popped, we accepted it, but it seems like bears are kind of nagging at it to see if we can break below this. So if you break below 387, most likely you're accepting that area because this shelf is just going to be too big to overcome because the volume is going to pick up on this shelf, the little gray box. Once you dip below that, these tiny little shelves and volumes, I honestly don't think they're going to hold much. This was mainly because of the supply. If I was to take this a little bit to the right here, the shelf gets, there's a little space in between now, at least to 386, but this is the magnet right now at 380. So pretty certain we're gonna go here fairly soon.
380 to 382 is like a really big dark pool level as well.
Oh yeah, well this would be the level that from range perspective to be, this is the range where you don't buy puts. You let other people buy puts here. I don't think you guys should be interested in buying puts at 380. Right? We were buying puts here, right? Not necessarily you want to buy them here because your risk to reward is fairly low if you do that. And you're at a major problem of getting, squeezed up by the bears and by the bulls. So yeah, don't look at these levels to short. Look for long opportunities there. So and then Apple is pretty important. We are still we're still not below the key level, right? So this was our this is our level here. I believe it was 134.37 that we need to break. I thought it was 47, maybe something else. But this is the level that we needed to break below, and then it would kind of indicate the next levels that we're gonna go there. So if you guys look here on the VPOC side, they also have a handful, right? So there's I will call it double here, 133. If they're able to slice through that, that's a different story. This would be the reversal and time for the downtrend on Apple here. If we break this VPOC, then you get the 130, and then of course I don't think we tested the supply, but we'll check real quick. Okay, just a quick question is, what's special about this profile here? Pay attention to what happened to before. Why is this one special? Is it special to anyone? Why do you guys think we dumped and then?
Lowercase b, but we closed above POC.
That usually means that you're going to trap the shorts. So whenever you see something like this, where you have a nice downtrend, then you have a short squeeze in this one. This was a short squeeze. Then you have, I would almost say, a D-shaped volume profile. Whenever you have D-shaped volume profile and you're closing above or below the value area, you should put a little warning sign in your head. D means balance. It doesn't mean you're gonna end up on a upper side or bottom side of it. So whenever you see something like this, a B shape like this, and you're closing above it, just heads up. There could be a little bit of reversal coming. And if you guys see, This is where they bounced it from. Pretty nice, right? And they've been running ever since. So I'll definitely watch these on Apple here. I think Amazon was a good short if you guys paid attention. I think somebody took it in this. I don't know who today. This was our short level below on Amazon. So 95 all the way to about 92.86. That was good. I think NVIDIA was probably the best. It didn't hit our level, but it came like $1.25 away from the level that we wanted to short. So, you know, it depends how we play it, right? I would say it didn't hit the level as we needed it to hit. So if you guys look here, this was our level right here, 180.29. This came in 178. And I don't know if I was to, I wouldn't draw it more than this, but that's, I would say maybe that's close. If I was to grab like this. Tiny little gap in between, but you know, we really reacted well to it. Almost $11 down on this one. If you had to look at this chart, where is it going?
Accumulation at the bottom.
Accumulation bottom. What can you tell me? Pay attention to this, where this one ended, and pay attention to this demand zone on the bottom that we just talked about. What does this tell you about the strength and aggressiveness of these?
Demand cannot take out the supply top.
Yeah, so this demand is not as strong as these sellers were here, meaning it made a lower high, did not break the structure at all, right? So if it was gonna go higher, at least break this, you know, true supply here. This here is liquidity grabs, but at least break this box, you know, kind of go above it, and you're not able to. So now, you know, what you
Are you
do
sure
is
that whole day isn't a liquidity grab?
which one? This one here?
Yeah, that one right there.
No, I mean, this was, I mean, they were in it, like, they gapped it.
Yeah, they gapped it and then they screwed
Yeah.
everybody the next day.
Yeah.
Something that can happen with Netflix tomorrow.
I'm watching Netflix tomorrow. Thank God we got out of that short, man.
Yeah,
I got out of for
everybody's
profits.
IV. Yeah.
They got failed
Netflix
stop.
already had their earnings tonight. It's not tomorrow.
Yeah, they already had it, but I think they're talking about like the crush is gonna be
They're
good.
gonna crush it.
Yeah. So what I would think that happens here, because you know the story continues right on the video here. It's in a massive range. You're talking about, and the video is known for these ranges, and I can show you guys way back. It used to consolidate for like 500 days before a move would happen. If you guys look here, you had a supply here, which is pretty good, and then you came back, and this is the level that you're pretty much stuck with. Seems like whoever this fella is here, he's pretty good at selling. Anytime you come to it, he barks and it goes down. You come up to it, he's like, no more, sell it down.
Defending that level.
So unless you're breaking this level on the video and closing above it, I just don't know why people are so, you know, excited to be long on it, like at these levels, because the risk to reward is not there. On the bottom, honestly, if it comes back to 100 again, yeah, I'll buy a little bit on the bottom here. I mean, you guys think about it, from 107 to 187, $80 a share. I'll take that any day. So I'll definitely watch this. I do think this is the demand where it goes, and I think this is actually where it bounces, because if it's gonna continue and if it makes, remember, higher low in the range, what does that mean?
Usually you can break out.
Usually you can break out. So I mean, here, you know, we haven't really had a lot of taps on the bottom, and maybe this range is here, right? And this would be what?
Spring.
This would be our spring, and you see the spring went all the way to the top, and that's what spring's known for. They take your liquidity here out, and then they run it to the top, and they did, you know, they completed the whole thing. So now, since this demand was not able to take out these supplies, you have to look at the demands a little bit below that and see how they hold. And honestly, there's not much demand below this until you get, I mean, even here, there's really not significant. The only demand I remember was this one here. That was pretty heavy. And this is the one I was talking about. This is pretty heavy, you know, demand here, but let's see. Okay. Any tickers from anyone? You guys interested in kind of dissecting? I'll pick a
Netflix.
handful. Netflix. Well, you know, I have to turn on the. I wanted to buy calls honestly, but I was like, man, I'm not risking any of this. Okay, well, it didn't do. Yeah, it didn't do. Hold on, where is it? Am I looking at this? At 3:30, I thought it went to 2. Okay. So they pulled back a little bit. And this reminds me of their last ER, if I remember. Didn't they do the same thing? Yeah, there it goes. They
Yeah,
pumped it. They pulled it back eventually to fill that gap, right? So they're at 315 and now they're, at 338. So they probably will push it back to 330. And that's if the history repeats itself, right? If you guys look. That was a good bounce to play it, right? And it seems like it's bouncing right off of the 50% of every one of these swings here. So if you guys look here, here's your 50%. And okay, let me delete this. You guys are following. So between this swing and this swing, where is it bouncing?
Okay.
50, right? And then you take the next swing from this one to this one. They held the 61, but the body was kind of stuck there, right? And then you see here, it came back on 50, bounced, but it didn't do much. And now, let's see here, man, it would be ideal if they follow through on that and kind of bring it back here. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, remember we talked about this level, the 380 was, I believe, on it. They can really go for this. And I will put a large chunk of money. Not that me and Netflix get along much, but this here, whoever sold here, and I don't know if it was that Bill Aikman guy, but whoever sold here,
yeah, it was
probably
Bill.
waiting. It was Bill.
And that giant dump, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like that they will probably dump it again here. I would say this is a compression up. It's nothing more than a compression here. To me, I mean, look at the weekly. People get so excited. What does this look like to anyone? I mean, hello, retail. Oh, you're making higher highs, right? Sure you are. Yeah, I would wait for this level. Come on. I think this is the level where we patiently wait for it, and as it arrives, I think this is gonna be a hell of a short. But let's see. I will definitely wait for this here, and if you guys extend it, you have a massive one on the top, but I think this one here is the level. So look at the shelf here. Man, this candle carried so much volume. This one candle here that I'm grabbing carried so much volume, it shifted POC by itself on a weekly. So it has to be the fella that sold and Bill or whoever. But this shelf here is rather big as well, pretty wide. So we're above this level here. And I think they're just gonna, I honestly think 380 is gonna be great. If you're patient enough, that's gonna be good. I just have to take a look at cat. Ooh. Finally freaking moved. Yeah, they got me on this one twice. 32. It's watching McDonald's. I think it's about to do with distribution here. Oh yeah. They're giving people a good look for something else, but I don't think that something else is gonna play out. They're giving you a nice bull flag, right?
Long wicks from the top.
Yeah, a lot of wicks on the top. Look at the monthly candles here. You're telling me this candle here and this candle here have the same amount of volume? You bought it and then what'd you do? Sell it? That's interesting. I'm watching this one for shares, just FYI, constantly. CLX.
What's the level for CLX? You're buying?
I want the bottom of the range. I want this 125-ish.
Isn't that the highest dividends?
They are, I think the yield 7, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
something high, super high.
118, I guess you can figure it out. Is this a quarterly or? Oh, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you're getting 330 here. It's pretty, I mean, it's not a shit company either.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. You just hold
Yeah.
it till the next pandemic.
Yep. Or you can just buy Zim like our friend Luce and lose all your money.
Zim is fertilizer though, isn't it?
I have
Oh,
no
it's
idea.
shipping. Shipping.
I just know he texted me. He's like, dude, when is it gonna go down? I said, fairly soon.
Yeah, the next time there's a shipping delay. I made a bunch of money on air shipping during that shit, but
Yeah, I made money on tankers. A lot of money on tankers when the oil shit happened. I mean, tankers were popular
yeah.
back then. Yeah. All right, guys. What else do you guys have? Anyone? Any other questions, comments? Need help?
Can you look at BA?
Yeah. Did it drop below 2?
No.
No idea what's it doing still here. I mean, it came to our level. We were talking about this and it came back almost $10, but this is such a difficult stock to trade, guys. Oh my God. I think it's the worst stock for new people to trade. You can't even look at the volume on this. I mean, you're just making lower highs, stepping up lower lows, and now you're doing, I don't even know what's it doing. Is it gonna do this? Or it just drags along? The only way I would short it is below 195, to be honest. And there's a high chance if you look here. So here they had like a little spike, they created, I guess, whatever you want to call it, like a bit, almost like a head and shoulder pattern for retail. And they popped from here. So if I was to play this, this range here, there's 2 shelves here that are pretty much identical. So you have 140 and then 132. If you were to play this, anything below 195, and if you go 8 months out, I think you would be okay. Like towards the end of 2023 sometimes. I would probably look at October, like 140s, 150s. I don't know the cost of them, but I would swing this. I really don't know how to day trade this. It's a difficult stock. And I just hate the fact that the Twitter and news impacted like drastically. So that would be my plan. I would short it below 195 and I would buy some time on it. Unless you're comfortable day trading.
Thank you.
Oxy. Well, I guess we did some analysis on Oxy. And when you look at Oxy, you got to look at crude as well. I mean, you're still in this contraction here, so. Seems like our friend Warren Buffett's not interested here at these levels. This is a big level here. Obviously the 57 level, if it comes to here, that's probably a good decent buy on it. On a bigger time frames, on smaller time frames. I mean, it's nasty charts. So it's in channel now. It's sitting in the channel right now. You could short potentially 67. Just make sure to keep an eye on crude because they have a level to break. And they're not out of it yet. So this might be a good short soon. If you take a look at it, you know, they're coming up to the top here, which would be like a bear flag. The only thing that might work on shorting this, right? I saw some cuts on production, which would also, you know, if you cut the production, demand stays the same, the price actually might go up. So it can have a pop here based on news as well, which
I've
is
seen them talking about China opening up as well and
yeah.
dragging
I mean,
demand. I don't know. It's crude and oil in general is a shit show to.
and this one is honestly like if you guys look at, you know, oil services charts and you look at the crude, they're really badly like decoupled. Like one, you know, crude oil is coming, oil services are going up. Usually they're not that bad. So I don't know. I would think if a recession was to come, this will also go down. I don't think people will be going and traveling on as many vacations, right? So I don't know the quantity demand that might shift a little bit to the left on the chart.
Yeah, and I saw last week Permian production in West Texas was all-time high by 30,000 barrels a day or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, on this one, I would play these levels that I identified on here. If this breaks upside, you go long on Oxy and, you know, CAV, CVX, a few others, Exxon. This breaks down, I would say you can short it, but this is a pretty heavy demand here. If you take a look here, this is, you know, a giant demand that they had. And, you know, the Papa Buffett is in this. If you do come to certain levels and, you know, he buys when there's blood, it's gonna be tough to short Oxy below a certain level. I think he started buying it in 50s, so you know you can drop to 50, but that guy will he will price you out. So this would be the level here that you're interested, 56-ish, and yeah, I think he would buy the farm here. So Oxy, I would, like I mentioned, I would play these levels that are here as well. So 67, 63. Long retest above, short retest below. It's a better reward for long than it is for short right now. Maybe if you break this, you get $1. I just don't like the way it's moving lately. I mean, look at this. Like this yeah, this is heart attack. It seems like they want to push this higher. Seems like they want to send it to 160, which is about $27 away. They have a supply here, which obviously let me just exclude this big candle here. We are sitting right at it right now. Thought we were over it. I mean, if you're able to break 137, you have a strong chance of 163, but I'm interested in shorting this bean. Yeah, I'm really interested in shorting this guy here. Yeah, I don't think it's ready to short. Let's see if they give us a little bit of more volume confirmation on shorting. The only one that we have here is a weekly candle that closes tomorrow, and this would be a pretty bearish setup to close short. And if you're gonna short it, you know, here, you wanna make sure you get out kind of $20 below. Yeah, I would definitely look into some puts here on this, unless there's news coming out. This is a big level here, but let's see. The biggest level is here. This is major accumulation if you guys look at the overlap. So if they pop over this level, they have a strong chance to run it. $20 something, but unless Mark's got some news coming, maybe you're right at the 50% too. I would definitely consider shorting here on a swing. At least I would. I'll do the last one. Let's see, somebody said gold. Well, we had a nice run. The gold's about to come down. Let me exclude this candle here. Yeah, the gold's about to come down, like maybe tomorrow.
Ooh. Look at now.
Yeah, we looked at it yesterday. I don't know what happened.
Oh, you did?
Afraid to look. Yeah. This is very, very close to shorting here. And if gold goes down, what happens to the dollar?
Pocket.
Huh?
Pocket.
Goes up.
Goes up.
Increase.
And if the dollar goes up, what happens to the market?
3,300.
Okay, well, keep an eye on
Corporate
this.
profits go down.
Keep an eye on this because this is a really big supply of gold. And then just remember, all the metals are controlled by JPM. So, I mean, from 1,600 to 1,900, and for all the ladies, just start selling your rings and all of your stuff that you have here. That's crazy. Periodic table of commodities. I hate periodic tables. Okay, and Zim, yeah, we looked at Zim. I don't know if you're bag holding, you're gonna bag hold for a long time. I hate to tell you, sometimes it's better off to take your hit on taxes than it is to hold this. And I remember, I think I talked to Luce when this happened here. It was bad. I just don't know. You know, it's a specific thing. Shipping costs are back to normal. They made a lot of money. They increased some stupid dividends of $17. Then they dropped it back, and now they're stabilizing. So they're gonna go back to this. There's really no demand. It seems like public January 4th, and then boom, just went from 11 to $91. So I personally don't invest in companies like this, but if you're in it, sometimes it's good to write it off, right? And you just got to be a strong person to do that. But it's all up to you guys, right?
All right, thank you.
Yes. Shorty, I'm new to this group actually. So I'm trying to understand the volume profile and trying to add the levels for the previous and POCs and everything. But still, it is hard for me to try to do that one. So if you can set up uh, a like meeting for the newcomers for the basic understanding from where to start,
Okay.
so that we will get to learn. And so because if I'm trying to join daily meeting, but still half of the meeting was like I'm not able to understand, I'm not able to get it, so that's the reason. So if you can if you already recorded the sessions from the basic levels, so if you can share those links or anything so that we can go and start looking those recording sessions and try to cope up with the new sessions which you are daily going, right? So
Okay.
and
how far are
one,
you on the PowerPoint for the volume profile?
so I just went through the PowerPoint. So off of the PowerPoint, I went through actually. So I'm still need to go with all the PowerPoint pages. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I think
And
it's
one,
important that you go through it, right? And if you have questions, feel free to ask, right?
mhm,
The learning doesn't happen of me just talking. It's also you guys, just like anything that you're doing, right? You gotta take a stab at it, challenge your understanding, and if you don't understand something, ask for it, right?
mhm.
And what I'm known for is I don't spoon feed people. I give you everything that
Yeah,
you need, and I'm
yep,
gonna challenge you for learning, right? If you tell me you read the PowerPoint, then send me the questions you have, right? If you have some questions and confusions, and then we can
mhm,
hold a class where you go from 0 to, let's say 50,
mhm,
meaning you start with just a basic chart like I don't know, let's bring up SPY just for liquidity. We can start from the, weekly time frame, identifying the structures, identifying the accumulation zones, distributions, and how you look at it, the different, you have different volume profiles, and they're covered, all of them in PowerPoint. And then how do you use each? And then, some things are time, right? You're not just going to come in and know overnight, the logic of, profiles and why was this a warning signal? Why this one here could be a, it was almost a short trap, here. If this closed above it, it would have been a short trap and we would have exploded higher. In this case, we didn't. Like why all of that works, you can't get that overnight, right? I don't know what you do for a living, but whatever you do, you didn't learn it overnight, right? So you
yeah,
gotta be, the patience. I love the eagerness to learn, but you gotta be, of course, structured in learning. Follow the steps. I suggest you, first read the PowerPoint, then you gotta stick with the volume profile book by Trader Dale. Once you have those two down, and how quickly you read it, and it's not how quickly you read it, it's how quickly you understand the book. Then you will notice like a little increase in your knowledge. Maybe you won't notice it, but as you look at a chart, it will click. And then, the daily sessions, and I don't mind doing a class, right, where we start, from the beginning, cover the volume profile, and we go into next step. So that way you guys can understand it. Yeah, definitely don't mind doing it. And, we can probably plan one. What is this? Maybe give it a week or two for you guys to kind of go through some of the material that we have. So that way, when I speak, even on a chart, that it's not something like totally new for you and you're asking me, what is POC? That's when I would be like, not mad, but I'll be like, okay, well, you're not really putting effort in it, right?
yep.
So simple questions and stuff that we have, in the PowerPoint, right? So I'll just bring it up. So if you guys
Yeah,
look
I
at the
totally
PowerPoint,
understand. Yeah.
you go through this, some of this stuff is going to be, it's not going to be easy to understand, but it's there.
Mm.
And then when you spend time on a, for instance, on a chart, right, and you start looking at these things and you start recognizing, how do you apply this on a chart? Well, there's a way. How do you apply this? It's fairly easy, and it's pretty good. I think it's been doing a good job in helping us with confidence. And then it explains every one of these shapes that we have, from D, B, P, uppercase B. And then on the bottom, I started adding a little bit more complexity, right? Not everybody's ready for it yet. These are profile dependencies and what they mean, right? So this is your short B shape, what we just talked about, usually leads to more P shape, and then there's few more to add. There's a lot of stuff in it, right? And the more confluence points you can find within your own strategy, right, the easier it will be for you to trade. So, and that's the goal of it. So yeah, I don't mind. I mean, if more people have feedback like yours, I think I would welcome that. So that way I can come back to your level of understanding and what the issue is that you're seeing through your eyes. So that way I can structure the teaching on the same level,
Okay.
right? It's usually not
Yep.
the student's fault if they don't understand something. It's the teacher. It's the way they teach it. So yeah,
Yep.
I'm open to it. If you want to send some feedback and questions, that way I know how to target, the learning curve.
Sure. And one more question regarding the indicators which you are using. How can I get that into my trading view? Like, so do
Which
I?
one?
It's you are using a lot of indicators, right? If you click on the
Like
uh,
here?
no, not here. In the trading view.
Okay, like this?
Yeah, no, not actually. If you click on level number 11, it's a drop down here on the
Oh,
right.
okay. Yep.
Yeah,
So
there are
this
so
is
many,
Shorty.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are, some of them are custom to trading view, to our orbit, right? And some of them are, so like this one here is ours. This is regular, meaning regular. TV owns it. I don't know what this is, moving average of some kind. This is our clouds. This is something I'm testing. This is also I'm testing. SVP is just a volume profile. This is our orbs. And this is our, of course, orbit VWAP with the daily, weekly, and year-to-date VWAPs, right? So that's pretty much all we use. I don't use every one of them. Like I don't use this daily here.
Okay.
I don't use this stuff here. I'm just testing something with sequence to see what's going on. And then all the other ones are fairly straightforward. All the ones that you need are pretty much mentioned in the volume profile regarding volume profile. And they're
Okay.
all here under technicals, volume profile, fixed, periodic session, and visible.
Okay.
I don't use the ones that are not checked with favorite.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Shorty. Yeah.
Yep, no, welcome. And send me the feedback if you have time, and then I think that'll help not only yourself, but I'll think it'll help everyone.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys learned something new and ready for tomorrow. We have the levels identified. I'll be trading live tomorrow all day, so we'll cover some stuff during the live and hopefully help you guys.
Thank you, Shorty.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Shorty.
Mhm,
Take
bye-bye.
care.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.